Hey, Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic here. What we're working on today is the 1989 Harley Davidson FXST soft tail, my antique classic here. But what the problem is today is the horn won't blow, which that sort of blows. But if you put the power on the ignition and we go to blow the horn, nothing. So what we want to find out is it the button? Is it the horn? Is it the wiring? Power or ground? So let's go about figuring out which it is. So here's the horn setup. Here's the power wire. Here's our ground wire, and it's hooked back here to the frame somewhere, and comes here and hooks on this bolt. Now I'm going to assume it's not the ground because everything looks clear, everything looks really good. So I'm assuming it's either the horn or the wiring. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll take our test light and we'll hook it up to ground over here. Then we're going to take our power wire off and we're going to get in here, get the light in here. We'll turn the power on. We'll hold this. So now we're grounded through the horn. Like I said, let's push the button. So we push the button and our light lights. To me, that's telling us that the power's good and the button up top is good, because when you push the button, the power comes on. So, and like I said, I'm going to assume our ground's good because we're on a different ground now, but I'm going to assume our ground's good because the ground wire is intact and everything's hooked up and clean. So we're going to assume that. What I want to do next is, because the horn is a circuit that pulls a little bit more amperage, and I'm only going to do this very quickly, is I'm going to pull a little more amps on this than a test light would by using a regular headlight. So we got the headlight hooked up, we got the ground hooked up there, we got the power coming down from our horn button, and we got the headlight hooked up. So what we'll do is we got the power onto the bike. We'll push this quick. About how longer you'd push your horn anyhow, normally. So there you go. I don't want to pop a fuse or anything, but that put a good draw on the circuit. So now you know that it's pretty much has to be the horn. So I hooked the wire back up to the horn, and like I say, the ground and everything. I got the power on. I'm going to push the horn button here, and nothing happens. But here's another surefire way that you could check is, I wanted to show all these other checks just to make sure. I didn't really want to guess. So I'm going to hold the horn button in. So now I'm pressing the horn button again. So there you go. Unless your ground would be loose, which it isn't, we're going to call this the horn. So when I get the new horn, I will install it, bring it in, and confirm our fix. Okay, so we got our new Amazon horn. Sort of looks the same. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it first. Now what's different from my old one here to the new one is, if you see, this one has 2 tabs on it. So I'm not 100% sure. Everything else looks the same. Of course, one's positive and one's negative on here, because our negative actually came through the horn, through the mount on the horn on the old one. Not sure if it will on the new one, but I'm going to be adventurous and not hook a ground up to the new one, not hook a wire up to the ground here on this new one, just hook one up to power and see if it will ground through the horn. If it doesn't, then it's just a matter of putting this wire somewhere, putting the second wire at a ground, which is no big deal. But I'm not going to do that right away. I'm only going to hook one up and we'll see what happens. So let's get the old one off of here, get the new one mounted up to the mounting, and then we'll get her back on the bike and we'll give her a shot. And what a bunch of cheap hoo-haws. a lot of places would give you the nut along with the horn, this little cheap ass nut, but no, they didn't even do that, so I got to use the old one. Alright, I'll be honest, I started doing this and I got a little ahead of myself. What I wanted to do was check and make sure this horn blew before I put everything on it, and did it. So I got my little jumper pack here hooked up to my battery charger. We're going to come over here. We got the positive hooked up already. We'll go to ground. Ooh, yeah man, she blows. This horn really blows. Double A, MCO. Alright, we got the horn hooked back up. We only put the one wire on. We put the power wire on. And I just put it on the upper tab because it didn't seem to matter which it was. But we put that on. And we didn't run the ground wire from the horn yet. We just put it on like the other one was. Like I said, which is no big deal. If we have to do that, the other tab is right back here. We'll make a piece of wire and we'll put it up where this ground is. But just for gits and shiggles, I just wanted to see if this would work. And I haven't tried it. So let's see if she's going to blow. Power on. Horn button. Negative. I thought we'd probably have to put that on. Okay, so all I'm going to do is go make that wire up, put it on the second tab, and put it up here to this bolt where this horn ground came from. And then we'll see if she works. Fingers crossed. Alright, so we got a ground wire hooked up to the other tab now, which I guess I should have just did in the other place. And we hooked it right behind the nut where the other ground wire was originally from the original horn. Power, oh, our power fell off. What the heck? Alright. That wire's just a little bit too short. Alright. So now our power is hooked up. We got a ground hooked up to that tab. So if it doesn't work now, well, who knows? Ooh, works a little too good. Horn's a little sticky. We'll put a little bit of silicone spray in there. So there you have it. That's how to test to see if the horn's bad, the wiring's bad, or the button's bad on a horn on a 1989 Harley Davidson FXST. So this is Mike the Disgruntled Mechanic saying, just remember, if you can get somebody else to do it, you're probably better off. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Oh, you dirty, rotten bolt! How could you break off? You dirty, rotten mother! Oh, dirty, rotten! How dare you break? Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Not again! Oh, man alive! Son of a... Oh, I can't believe it broke off! Jesus! No wonder I'm the disgruntled mechanic!